All right, let's dive in. Today, we are unpacking a really powerful piece of writing called The Ballad of the Aliens. Now, on the surface, you hear that title and you think science fiction, right? But this poem, it's actually a fascinating metaphor for power, secrecy, and, well, society itself.
Right from the jump, the poem's chorus hits you with this chilling line: aliens, walking among us. So, are we talking about little green men from outer space? Or is the poet pointing to something way, way closer to home? That's the mystery we're going to get into today.
So, first things first, we have to establish the poem's central metaphor. Who exactly are these aliens?
This question is really the key to the whole thing. And by looking closely at the clues inside the text, and only the text, we're going to build a profile and solve this puzzle together. The answer you'll see isn't out there in the stars, but it's right here in the words on the page.
The poem makes it super clear, right away, that this isn't some sci-fi story. I mean, instead of spaceships, these aliens live in palaces on hills. Their power doesn't come from laser guns or advanced tech, but from something very human: wealth and fear. The poet is using the whole idea of an alien, something separate, different, maybe not quite human, to describe a very specific group of people.
Okay, so we know we're dealing with a metaphor. Now let's really get into the details. Let's build a kind of profile of these aliens using the poet's own descriptions. What do they look like and how do they act?
And wow, the imagery the poem uses to describe this group is pretty unsettling. Scaled skin, fanged smiles, venomed breath. Of course, this isn't meant to be literal. It's designed to paint them as monstrous, as predatory, as something fundamentally different from ordinary folks. Even their golden eyes. That's not just a color, it's a symbol of their greed and their cold, inhuman nature.
And this theme of being separate, it carries right over into their social life. The poem really hammers home this extreme divide. It calls them poisonous, as if they're completely walled off from everyone else. They go out of their way to avoid the general public, basically creating a world of their own.
So when you boil it all down, their whole deal is secrecy and exclusion. The poem says they bind their blood to blood alone and hide from honest light. I mean, it's pretty direct. Everything happens in the shadows, through whispered deals, which creates this totally closed-off elite circle that only protects its own. But here's the thing. This secrecy, this exclusion, it's not just some kind of lifestyle choice. No, it's a tool. It's exactly how they maintain their power over the rest of society.
This line is just incredibly direct, isn't it? The poem is telling us flat out that this group controls all the most valuable resources. Their power is tangible. It's land, it's wealth, it's property. And I love that word choice, clenched. Not just held, but clenched. It gives you this image of a tight, greedy fist that's never gonna let go.
So how do they do it? Well, the poem lays out their entire toolkit for control. They use fear to crush anyone who's weak and to silence any inconvenient truths. Their wealth, which the poem calls stolen, gives them enormous power. And their influence, get this, it's so great they can corrupt justice itself, to bend the gods and blind the law. And of course, it all happens in secret, under the silver moon. Now, this next part is absolutely crucial. The chorus keeps repeating this one phrase: borrowed crowns. Think about what that means. A borrowed crown is not one you've earned. It's not yours by right. It suggests their authority is totally illegitimate, that it's been stolen, or that it's only temporary. It's such a powerful symbol of their phony rule.
But, and this is a big but, the poem doesn't just leave us in despair. Just when the aliens' power seems absolute, the whole narrative takes this dramatic turn. The power is about to shift.
And here it is, the first sign of real hope. This is such a powerful image, isn't it? Resistance doesn't start with a big explosion, but with a whisper. It's like a fire, starting small, hidden, where no one can see it, but it has the potential to grow and consume everything. This is the very beginning of a collective awakening.
The poem then actually gives us a kind of roadmap to the uprising. It starts with those whispers, then it moves on to common hands taking hold of power. And as that happens, the facade, the masks of the aliens, they start to crumble and fall apart, which leads to the final step, the climax, the people rising together as one.
And this right here brings us to the core message of the entire ballad. It's a message of hope. It's saying that entrenched power, no matter how terrifying and permanent it seems, can be challenged. It's all about collective action.
When the common people rise as one, the entire power dynamic just flips.
So how do they win? What's the ultimate weapon? It's truth. The aliens' power is built on a foundation of lies and secrecy and illusion, their borrowed crowns and their kingdom of shadows. But that kind of power is incredibly fragile. The palm insists that truth is the one weapon that can just tear their entire structure down. And so, the ballad leaves us here with this final provocative question. It doesn't give us an easy answer. Instead, it invites you to imagine it. It's a question about justice, about freedom, and about the kind of world that could be built after the old, oppressive systems are finally gone. So I'll leave you with that to think about. What do you think that song sounds like?